Missed an episode of your favorite podcast? Choose from over a decade of content in our archives, not just the latest episode. All free at GCNlive.com.
This is your call to action. Get prepared, America. Economy, survival, energy, disasters. This is USAPrepares.com. Informative radio, educational radio. Interact now by emailing instructor@USAPrepares.com or text at 434-390-7953. Class, please take your seats. Now, your instructor, Vincent Finelli.
Everyone all set, cocked, locked. Here we go. Your dial set correctly to USAPrepares.com. We're delighted you're here. And we broadcast 2 hours, Monday through Friday, from high atop the Missouri Ozark Mountains. The links to your instructors are on the website, USAPrepares.com, USAPrepares.com. We've got a call-in line if you would like to give us a call. We'll pay for the call. Toll free, 866-582-9933, 866-582-9933. Captain John Regan is with us, and John is engineering the broadcast in Minnesota at Genesis Communications Network, the largest alternative radio network in the country. Captain John Regan, welcome.
Good morning, Vincent.
So, John, here we are, and last time you and I were on the air together, we said we were going to finish up a topic. Should we do that?
That's right.
And another topic. And another. Yeah.
If we went back to finish the topics we didn't get to, we'd run out of time right there.
It was all my fault. It really is.
Well,
so where'd you like to go?
Well, for those following along on the news tab of the financialstateoftheunion.com, I'm going to start off with the last item from last week. And that link is entitled, "What is your governor for?" And after, living through Rick Perry being governor, that was one of the joys of leaving Texas, coming to the Ozarks there, is leaving Rick Perry behind. I tell you, I'm really becoming more and more of a fan of Greg Abbott. It's a shame that we don't see him running for president, but while FDR was in a wheelchair, I don't think most of the country is just ready to vote for somebody that's in a wheelchair. And he's offered 9 constitutional amendments to rein in the federal government. One of those is to prohibit Congress from regulating activity that occurs wholly within one state. Now, that's what the Constitution already says, but, just to, try and rein that in and get back to where we're supposed to be. He's got a second one that requires Congress to balance its budget. Now, that one's a little more problematic. First off, it can't be done. And second, if he required them to balance the budget without limiting what they spend, you're just asking for an increase in taxes. Of course, if you've listened to me, you realize that we already need a tax rate of over 100% just to keep things from getting worse with the unfunded liabilities of Social Security and Medicare. But in the world that most people exist in, I think all we got to do is balance the budget and we keep things from getting worse. Well, unless you say, let's, put a maximum of, say, 20% of what's reported for personal income through the IRS, I wouldn't say GDP because that's such a fake number. If there's not a maximum, then that kind of amendment would be a recipe for trouble. Third is prohibit administrative agencies and the unelected bureaucrats that staff them from creating federal law. And we've reported here how many thousands of pages have gone into the Federal Register with regulations that it's almost impossible to reverse. 4, prohibit administrative agencies and the unelected bureaucrats that staff them from preempting state law. 5th, allow a 2/3 majority of the states to override a U.S. Supreme Court decision. 6, require a 7-justice supermajority vote for U.S. Supreme Court decisions that invalidate a democratically enacted law. 7, restore the balance of power between the federal and state governments by limiting the former to the powers expressly delegated to it in the Constitution. 8, give state officials the power to sue in federal court when federal officials overstep their boundaries. 9, allow a 2/3 majority of states to override a federal law or regulation. And I doubt we'll ever see that. He's calling for a constitutional convention generated by the states to get these amendments proposed. It's just a shame that it's not 20 or 30 years ago where this could make a real difference. Vincent?
I've got one. I like what I heard. And my thought is I'd like to see this bill become law, and that is all government employees, staff, agents, elected officials, politicians shall wear uniforms with reflective 1-inch wide stripes visible from all sides. Now, the New Jersey State Police used to have uniforms with a bright yellow, like a highway line color yellow stripe that ran vertically from the top of the pants to the bottom. So you could see these guys, from the side. Okay. Well, I think all government employees shall wear uniforms. So that kind of like that, except I think that was a good start with just the pants, but I think it should be a 1-inch wide reflective stripe that you can see from all sides, front and back. Okay. There will be no plainclothes government anybody. Okay. The president shall wear the same uniform. Okay. And all uniform, and it can be different colors. I mean, you can have, like the FBI can have their, slight variety. And, if you're a governor, you could have, a variety, but you have to have these reflective stripes so we can see where these thugs are. Okay. And then the next one would be all government vehicles shall have at least 2-inch wide reflective stripes visible from the front bumper to the back bumper, across the hood, the roof, and the rear deck. If they're SUVs, across the top. So you can see these vehicles from the front, the back, the sides. There will be no unmarked anything, okay, in government. Those are 2 of my bills that I think should become law. What do you think, John?
I think you're too kind. I'd like my amendment where any person in government that violates their oath of office to support the Constitution, upon being convicted of such, shall be subject to the death penalty.
Yeah, fill in the blank. That class, fill in that blank, whatever you think it should be. Rewarded? I don't think there'll be too many people saying rewarded. I don't think there'll be too many people saying put in a dunking tank. I think it's going to start much worse than that. What do you think?
I wish I knew who said the quote. It might have been Ron Paul. If people knew what the government was up to, that there'd be basically lynch mobs going on.
Yeah. Yeah. And our founding fathers said something very similar. There'd be a revolution by morning if we knew what was going on.
Which reminds me, it's a lot like the X-Files. I watched it last night.
Yeah, tell us about it. I did not see it. I don't have television here at the farm. We have television screens, but what we don't have is over-the-air or cable or satellite feeds. But I guess could we have watched it on the internet?
I'm not sure about that. I'm sure it'll be on Hulu sooner or later. But
okay.
We had to watch it live over the air. And I really didn't watch very many X-Files when it was on originally. But this, I'm going to watch this mini season that they have coming. And this restart, I think in many ways is too close to the truth. I'm concerned that people might think, well, it's on TV, it's fiction, and dismiss a lot of what was in there. They've got a character in there that has been talked about on the media as being Alex Jones. And in some ways he is, so, but I think this guy's a little bit too subdued to play that part. And they covered so many things from 9/11, chemtrails, and what really went sideways from the original series is instead of being aliens and UFOs, it's humans with alien technology. And in my view of the world, that's actually fallen angel technology. And they even had a scene in there where they had one of the ships that has the gravity drive and total invisibility. I mean, it was a good start to what should be quite an interesting short season here.
Captain John Regan's with us. This is USAPrepares.com. I'm Vincent Finelli. And there's a meetup tonight. Silent Night is going to be hosting, and the title of the meeting is A Man Who Knew Too Much. A Man Who Knew Too Much. Silent Night will be hosting the meeting tonight at Jimmy's Egg, 4:45 to 8 p.m. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
The Genesis Communications Network is one of America's premier broadcasters of captivating talk radio. We thank you for listening. Now, just imagine, there are thousands of people who are just as passionate about radio as you are. But what you may not realize is how easy and affordable it is to advertise with us. Radio commercials for your business could be heard on hundreds of radio stations across the U.S. every day. We can help you by creating an effective radio advertising campaign for your company. From script writing to producing your commercial, just like the one you're listening to right now. No other network provides the level of customer service we do. When it comes to radio advertising, we are your one-stop shop. And no matter how big or small your business is, we can help. Email us and advertise at gcnlive.com, and an experienced advertising executive will help you take the first step towards driving more customers to your business or website. Advertise at gcnlive.com. Easy, affordable, effective.
This is Dan Pillett. Do you owe the IRS money you can't pay? Are tax debts crippling you? I've defended people from the IRS for over 30 years. I've helped thousands, and I can help you too. I wrote the book on IRS settlement, and I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a hopeless case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX to finally get free of IRS debt. With the IRS's new programs, there's never been a better time to solve your problem. Call 800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NO-TAX, or my website, danpilla.com.
Hi, this is Walt Augustinowicz. I'm the founder and CEO of ID Stronghold. By now you've heard our commercials about wallets that protect you from electronic pickpocketing. 10 years ago, I created a way to protect my own cards from prying eyes after government officials started talking about issuing a national ID card with a built-in radio chip called RFID. I felt having to broadcast my personal information was an invasion of privacy. Soon after, it was also announced that credit cards, debit cards, U.S. passports, hotel room keys, and even transit passes would all soon incorporate RFID. It was then I formed ID Stronghold to share my inventions in blocking RFID signals with the world. There are a lot of misconceptions out there today about RFID. I encourage everyone to get informed and get protected. Please go to idstronghold.com and get the facts and the wallet, sleeves, or badge holders you need to protect your personal financial data. You'll be pleasantly surprised that through our direct sales model, you won't pay more than other comparable unprotected wallets. It is as though the protection is free. Visit idstronghold.com today.
Owe $10,000 or more to the IRS?
Get on board with the Tax Admiral. Don't pick on the IRS alone. I'll cut penalties and reduce your overall tax bill. Sometimes I can even get it zeroed out completely.
We're an A-rated company helping people clean up their mess with the IRS.
If you owe $10,000 or more, then call the Tax Admiral.
Call 800-287-7180. Again, that's 800-287-7180. 800-287-7180.
Captain John Regan's with us. And class, I'm going to post this article during the next break. And it's titled, Hundreds of Officers Lose Licenses Over Sex Misconduct. And it starts out in Oklahoma City. And, you know, the flashing lights of a police car behind someone who's traveling. And then you know, you can see it's really a police car. And then the cop pulls the person over, and in this case, it was a woman. And she was told, well, you know, he needed to make sure that she didn't have anything on her, so he wanted to pat her down. And he wasn't convinced, so she had to lift up her shirt. And he still wasn't convinced, so she had to unzip her zipper. And then next thing you know, she's in the back seat of the car. And then the cop has his zipper down. This is what's going on. And I don't know exactly at what point the men are going to extract justice on their own. You know, the men who are the husbands, the boyfriends, the fiancés of these women. I don't know when. But I have a feeling once this thing starts, there's going to be no stopping it. This is absolutely out of control. I know a lawyer. I was talking with him, and he's advised people he knows to absolutely never call the cops. Never call the cops. Now, here's someone who hasn't heard us say that, you know, never call 911. But, you know, when you used to see a police car, he used to feel, you know, good. That's good because, you know, we're protected. Now you see a police car and you know you're in trouble. You know, they're up to no good. And I keep hearing, you know, they're 95%, 90%, 80% of the cops are good. Really? I don't believe it. I don't buy it. I just don't buy it. That's my opinion. So here we have just one little case of a cop who pulls a woman over and he demands and forces her into sex. Now, do you think that it's possible that his peers don't know that? Do you think it's possible? Do you think that these out-of-control thugs in blue uniforms known as the Blue Plague, do you think that that the other members of that ilk don't know what these guys are up to? Well, because I believe they do know, and they're not policing themselves, and they're not saying, whoa, Joe, what are you kidding? Come on. Tom, are you kidding? You can't do this. And they don't get these guys thrown out. They're part of the problem. So if they know about it, they're part of the problem. Just like the guys who are fueling the airplanes that are spraying chemicals all over this country. Just like they're part of the problem. Just like the guy who's sitting at the keyboard ordering more chemicals to spray over this country. The guy who's ordering the chemicals, the guy who's flying the plane, the co-pilot, the guy who's making sure the wheels and the bearings and everything are tight and ready for flight, they're part of the problem. They're all part of the problem. Just like these cops who don't police themselves are part of the problem. Back to you, John Regan.
I just want to touch one other thing that was in the X-Files last night. At the end of the show, the guy playing the Alex Jones type character ended up going missing, and his website was taken down. Not that could happen in America.
There are plenty of broadcasters who have been taken out. Plenty. They're right here on the network. There are broadcasters who are no longer with us, and some of us think that there's a lot of questions about their deaths. Jeff Rentz, his car went down a ditch and he almost lost his life, and there's another thing, John. The lack of energy that so many people are feeling. Are you experiencing some of that? Are you hearing of any others who are, just worn out? I'm hearing of it.
I'm experiencing problems. Of course, I've got such a heavy schedule. Mm-hmm. When I'm doing 50 to 60 hours a week, just getting ready for the show. Yeah. And I've got to cut back on that because I need to do other things.
Yeah, you do. We all do. Well, class, we're going to go into a bottom of the hour break, and I'd love to know if you are feeling less energetic than you used to. I'd love to know about that. Where you're located, what state, and are you feeling less energetic? We'll be right back.
So you've got to take a state construction license exam or certification. Can't decide on what books or what chapters to study? Discover right now how you can eliminate unnecessary books and wasted study time. At contractorexam.com, our study materials zero in on state-required test topics in an effective, multiple-choice format. So whether you're a plumber, electrician, general contractor, or other construction-related trade, contractorexam.com will help get you prepared. Visit us at www.contractorexam.com today. Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Sling bow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of sling bow. A new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
We all know that Berkey Water Purification Systems are the most trusted name in water filtration. As an authorized Berkey dealer for over 6 years and serving thousands of satisfied customers, the Berkey Guy offers amazing specials for Berkey Water Filtration Systems. The Berkey Light Systems include a set of self-sterilizing and recleanable black purification elements that purify water by removing chlorine, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, and parasites to non-detectable levels and remove harmful chemicals such as herbicides and pesticides. Order the Berkey Light System today, complete with 2 black Berkey elements for only $231, and the Berkey Guy will ship your order free of charge. With the purchase of a Berkey Light, the Berkey Guy is also offering a set of fluoride and arsenic filters for only $39.99. That's over 30% off the retail price. Call the Berkey Guy at 1-877-886-3653. That's 1-877-886-3653. Or order online at goberkey.com. That's goberkey.com today.
Are you looking to sell body armor? Want to make extra money selling body armor at your local gun shows? With low minimum buys and great returns, Katie Armor is the answer. Make money in your spare time. It's American-made body armor with the quickest turnaround in the industry, which means you get your product when you need it at very competitive rates. And they'll ship it to you for free. If you own a business, give them a call today at 855-488-KATIE. That's 855-488-2284. Or go to katiearmor.com. Come and take it.
Are you sneezing, coughing, and aching? Do you have a sore throat, a fever, or the sniffles? There's no reason to be sick this cold and flu season with immune system support from Supernatural Silver. Supernatural Silver can give your body the help it needs to fight off harmful pathogens without hurting beneficial gut flora and without leaving behind resistant bacteria. Antibiotics can damage good microflora and often leave behind bacteria which can cause problems later on. If you're sick of being sick, try Supernatural Silver. Supernatural Silver, the #1 choice of thousands for a safe and effective way to protect against the many diseases and illnesses that we are facing today. Go to supernaturalsilver.com, read our customer reviews, and see the life-changing results that people are having. That's supernaturalsilver.com. Supernaturalsilver.com. Use the promo code PROTECTED for 20% off your entire order. And like us on Facebook. Supernatural Silver.
My dad was 59 when he collapsed from a heart attack late last year. Just this past August was when we spread his ashes on the St. Croix River. I loved my dad, but boy was he stubborn. He hadn't been to the doctor in over 25 years. His excuse? He simply couldn't afford it. He wasn't a rich man by any means. At less than $107 per month, libertyoncall.org would have been the perfect alternative for my father. Don't wait. Go to libertyoncall.org right now for not just your sake, but for the sake of your loved ones. Again, that's libertyoncall.org.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99 and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows, pause and rewind live TV, even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
Regan's with us, thefinancialstateoftheunion.com, thefinancialstateoftheunion.com. And if you go to the website and click the news tab, you can follow along in class with us today. Okay, John, what's next?
Well, it's not on the list, but we probably ought to chat a minute about the blizzard that happened this past weekend.
Sure.
I imagine you've seen some of the photos. It's hard to believe how much snow fell in such a short period of time. In fact, we don't even know how much snow fell in D.C. because they lost their snow measuring device during the blizzard. And the shots out of New Jersey, the storm surge was higher than what they experienced during Sandy. And you're seeing this ice just flow down the middle of the street.
Right. I've seen the pictures, and I've seen the wheels of vehicles driving through the water, and the water was up to the center point of the axle. So I'm thinking that we're at about 15 inches in some places. Storm surge, and of course that would be salt water. And that's really corrosive. So if that gets in the vehicles and it sits there, it will just, even when the vehicles dry out, it will do an enormous amount of damage, by rusting wherever the salt water contacts, the metal parts. You're right. And John, we talk about this. We talk about where to live. We talk about, you don't want to live below a dam. You don't want to live where water can be can run downhill and wash away your home or flood your home. I remember being in California in the 1980s, and there were these mudslides, and houses in Santa Cruz were just sliding down the hill. They just became dislodged from the rain and rain and rain, and the houses just slid right off their foundations and just went downhill, literally. And then the houses above them would slide into them, and then the trees above them would be unable to remain vertical because the roots were in mud rather than in soil. And the trees would just fall over and come crashing down. There'd be mudslides. It was just horrible. Well, why would anybody build a house like that? As a matter of fact, when I was living in California, John, in a little hamlet called Los Gatos at the time, Losgatos, the cats, we rented this house, and actually it was a shack. And across the road from us, it looked like a little tiny ranch house. And there were like a bunch of cars that would stop in front of this house at night. And I thought, wow, how can they fit so many people in this little tiny house? I didn't realize it was 3 stories. 2 stories were below the road grade, and it was over the other side of the hill that we didn't see. So it was a 3-story house, but you could only see like the top story because they built it on such a slope. Who would do something like that? It made no sense to us. But anyway, people, I guess, are not thinking for the long run. And when you have a lot of rain and the ground gets really waterlogged, big trees fall over. They really do. So we need to think about what we're doing. And where did common sense go? I guess it up and left. But please continue.
Now, there's a lot of places had 1.5 foot of snow, or even 2 feet or more, and you see where the snowplow comes through, and you end up with a lot more than whatever fell that's now blocking your driveway. And that's an effort just getting your driveway clear enough to get your car out to the street to get to wherever you were trying to get to.
Yeah, let's talk about that for just a second. I had that discussion with someone on the East Coast yesterday, and I said, you may think that, let's say the snow has been plowed by the municipality as they come around down the road, and they just block everybody's driveway with a pile of snow. You may think you can drive right through that, but the discussion I had was, you may think it's soft because it was soft yesterday, but today, with the little sun shining on it and the top layer melting a little bit and then freezing overnight, that becomes really hard ice in many cases. So if you think you can just ram right through it, you may destroy that decorative applique on the front of your car, which used to be known as a bumper. Now it's an applique. It's art. It's really not designed to absorb the impacts the way those steel bumpers that were behind the chrome bumpers of the 1960s, 70s, and 80s. So be careful if you're going to drive over these piles of snow. You may rip the underside of your car. Seriously. Including the radiator and maybe the intercooler if you have a turbocharger. You may damage that. You may damage the rack and pinion rubber boots and so forth. So be really careful if you're going to go charging at these piles of snow with the front of your car. And also, another thing is if you think that you can go through water, it's not going to affect the car. Well, it can get into the transmission. It can get into the wheel seals. It can get into the rear end of the car. It can get into the transaxle. It can get into a lot of parts, and the water mixed with the lubricant can cause accelerated wear. So, the best thing is if you see puddles, try not to drive through them, and especially try not to drive through, high water. It's not good for the bottom of the car. Back to you.
Well, on the other end of the scale, we've got the tale of 2 droughts. In California, there was, I guess you could say, marginal improvement, less than a fraction of a percent, where the drought moved down into a lower category. but it's still 100% of the state that's at least abnormally dry, and over 97% that's in some stage of drought. In Texas, basically we stayed the same again. Nobody's in drought, and just a small fraction in faced with the Big Bend area in West Texas that's abnormally dry. Total of less than 2% of the state. But I added another link. It's not just the United States having problem. In Bolivia, their second largest lake, which was twice the size of Los Angeles, is pretty much a desert now. There's very little of it left. It's been going through cycles of drying up and reforming, but they're not so sure it's going to refill this time. And pictures of the fishing boats that are now just sitting out in the middle of the desert. And it's not like this is anything new. If you've followed archaeology in Egypt, they've found boats out in the middle of the desert there too. So I guess we get to blame the car for that, and cows passing gas as well.
Mm-hmm. And the cows passing gas. Now I take offense at that. I really do. And I'll tell you why. If we didn't have cows munching in these fields, and if we didn't have goats, these fields would turn into forests. There wouldn't be any fields. The cows do a wonderful job of mowing down the grass and fertilizing the grass. I mean, they do an excellent job. So for those in Washington who want to do away with cows, okay. All right, you're not going to get any steak. You're just not going to get any. And by the way, I got to tell you, if I got a call from the White House and they said, listen, we heard that you raise really fine beef and you don't inject chemicals into your beef and you don't put chemicals on your soil. And so we want to keep all of those at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue healthy, and we'd like to buy your beef. My response would be, it's not for sale to them. I wouldn't sell it to them. There's no price I would sell it to them. If they offered $1 million a pound, I still wouldn't sell it to them on principle. What do you think about that, John?
Of course, we've got the executive order where the federal government can seize basically everything. Oh.
Yeah, I guess they could. I guess they could come and tell me, okay, we're not going to pay for it. We're just going to take it. Well, that'd be a terrible day. It'd be a really terrible day for everybody. I'm looking at these pictures of a fisherman who once earned a living from this shallow body of water. It's horrible, absolutely horrible. We're talking about Bolivia. If you get a chance, just go to thefinancialstateoftheunion.com and click on the news tab, and you'll see Bolivia. Oh man, it's horrible, absolutely horrible. The lake is gone. Okay, and it's happening in California too.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
Let's move on down to the employment section. I was actually expecting to see this before Christmas from talking with somebody that's actually in HR in one of the companies. Schlumberger has now laid off 10,000 employees. Because the energy sector is doing so well. Anybody that says otherwise is peddling fiction. What I saw here that was something is the quote, for many of our customers, available cash and annual budgets were exhausted well before the halfway point for the fourth quarter. That's just stunning. And of course, it's not just oil and gas that's having problems. We're seeing it in other industries as well. And I'm going down the next one. I'm expecting to see some in the tech industry because now IBM has altered their severance terms Where you used to get 6 months' pay, it's now going to be 1 month. So it's going to be a whole lot cheaper for IBM to lay off people.
John, when we come back, would you share the price of a gallon of gasoline fully loaded with all the taxes, retail price of gasoline in your neck of the woods, and I'll share the price of gasoline in Missouri. By now you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
Hello?
Congratulations.
For what?
For losing all that weight. How'd you do it so fast?
ASAP.
ASAP what? What's that mean?
Are you ready to get as skinny as possible, as soon as possible, as simple as possible, and as sexy as possible?
I'm listening.
Then get with the ASAP program. It's real and it works. No smooth talk, no slick advertising, and no exaggerated claims of success.
I've got to know more.
Welcome to ASAP, as slim as possible. Whether you have 10, 20, or 50 pounds to lose, ASAP is your weight loss answer. ASAP targets the abnormal fat reserves and makes them available to be burned as fuel and contains no caffeine or hormones. Order ASAP at wholesale prices or join the team to share the business with others. Visit GCNteam.com or call 877-878-4203. GCNteam.com or call 877-878-4203. Lose weight and look great with ASAP, as slim as possible.
Are you worried about your mom or dad living alone in their house? Hi, I'm Joan London. Listen, I know how difficult it is to find senior care for someone you love. That's why I recommend a free service called A Place for Mom. They are the nation's largest senior living referral service. Call A Place for Mom today.
To receive free information on senior living communities in your area, call A Place for Mom at 1-800-704-6182.
A Place for Mom offers free one-on-one advice from local advisors and a personalized list of senior living communities you can visit. If you have questions about senior care for your mom or dad, there's a place for answers, A Place for Mom.
Call A Place for Mom in the next 10 minutes to get your free ebook on financing senior care as well as free information on senior living communities in your area. Call 1-800-704-6182. That's 1-800-704-6182.
Attention USA Prepares listeners. When you're on the road or have limited data or Wi-Fi, now you can listen to USA Prepares Unfiltered and Untapped at no extra charge on this non-federal phone number, 1-605-477-3249. Try it now to listen to USA Prepares 24/7 at no extra cost or data charges. These are not on federal lines. These are lines located on Indian reservations off the grid. Call 1-605-477-3249. No smartphones or internet needed. To hear USA Prepares Untapped and Off the Grid, just call 1-605-477-3249.
As if chlorine in our water weren't bad enough, now they're adding ammonia?
It's true. Some municipalities are now adding ammonia plus chlorine to your water supply. It's a disinfectant called chloramine. But with a trusted Big Berkey water filter, you can keep chloramine out of your water. New NSF EPA certified lab tests show EPA Berkey water filters remove chloramines, pharmaceuticals, BPA, pesticides, bacteria and viruses, all forms of fluoride, and much more. Big Berkey water filters are the original and most trusted on the market. The gold standard in water purification. And our filters last for years at less than 2 cents per gallon. Big Berkey, the one that's powerful enough to purify stagnant pond water. Get your Big Berkey today. Call 1-877-99-BERKEY or click BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. That's 1-877-99-BERKEY. Big Berkey Water Filters, for the love of clean water.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pulaski of the Pulaski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states.
Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937.
Captain John Regan's with us. You know, John, I used to frequent a gas station, one of those convenience store type operations, about 10, 12 miles from our farm if I was heading towards Springfield. And I no longer patronize that operation because I needed air. I ran over a nail in the road, and I needed some air to get me back to the farm. And they have a machine that you put quarters in. And it took $1 worth of quarters to fill the tire halfway, and it took another $1 worth of quarters to almost fill it, where it was at the right inflation pressure to drive down the road. And I was outraged that, people who are in a jam have to pay for air, because gas stations used to offer air for free. Well, now it's a profit center. And so it costs $2 to almost fill the tire, one tire, with air. And I went into that particular shop and that store, and I, later when they were open, they were closed at this point, when I need the air. And I said, do you know that you charge for air? And the gal behind the counter said, yeah. And I said, well, do you know that you can't get enough air for $1 to fill up a tire? She said, yeah. I said, it takes about $2 and almost fill up a tire. She said, yeah. I said, well, I'm never coming back then. If you know that, I'm never coming back. And I haven't been back since. That particular gas station is higher price than all the other gas stations by at least 10 cents per gallon. A couple of days ago, I was traveling and I saw their sign, $1.49 for regular, at that overpriced gas station in the middle of nowhere. And gasoline can be had for $1.43.9 here in Missouri. What's it like out your way in Texas?
Well, we've actually got a wider range than usual for the moment. Closer by us, it's in the 150s to 160s, but on the way to church yesterday, we saw it for as low as 142.
142. Okay. There you go. $1.42 in Texas. $1.43 can be had for the inexpensive, the cheap stuff, if you want to call it that, regular in Missouri, unleaded regular. Okay, where are we going next?
Oh, let's go ahead and hit Fukushima. I didn't get to the history stuff. I still got tons left on that. But in the radiation this week, the loser this week at the top of the list, Miami, Florida, 1,556 counts per minute, which is 311 times normal.
Yeah,
unbelievable. And
now, John, Florida seems to get hit pretty hard most of the time, doesn't it? At least that's what I've been seeing.
Well, it's really all across the country. The top four this week, Colorado, Kansas, Arkansas after Florida there. North Carolina, Texas, and Washington are after that. It's really pretty much all across the country. And one of the things in this week's article, it talked about snowflakes and radiation. And it's saying that when snow falls, the snow grabs about 95% of the radiation in the air at the time. So I guess that's good news and bad news. Takes the radiation out of the air, but you pretty much would probably want to stay away from the snow and definitely don't eat it. Don't make your snow ice cream like you used to do, and just wait for it to melt.
John, did you see some of these articles where people were in their bathing suits diving into the snow? Did you see that?
Yes, I did.
I showed that to my mom. And my mom's in her 90s, and she looked at that, and she saw these images of people with their bathing suits, like the equivalent of diving into a pool, but they're diving into a pile of snow. Freezing cold. We have lost our minds. I mean, it makes absolutely no sense to do that. Well, we're going to be back right after the top of the hour news and commercial announcements. This is USAPrepares.com. Captain John Ragan's with us, the financialstateoftheunion.com. John, can we have a quick highlight for next hour?
Well, after Fukushima, we'll be going to financial and bigger picture. Very interesting things.
You want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food. Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
This is a healthcare alert from the Pain Relief Hotline. If you, a family member, or a loved one suffers from knee, back, shoulder, or ankle pain and have Medicare as your primary insurance, we've got great news. You don't have to suffer any longer. You can immediately qualify for a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost to you by calling our 24/7 Pain Relief Hotline at 866-389-0620. Delivery is free and all paperwork is handled for you. If you are on Medicare and have knee, back, shoulder, or ankle pain, don't wait. You can qualify to immediately receive a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost by calling our 24/7 Pain Hotline now at 866-389-0620. Our representatives are standing by 24/7 to take your call and rush you your pain-relieving brace at little or no cost to you. Shipping is free and all paperwork is handled for you. Just call 866-389-0620. That's 866-389-0620. Again, 866-389-0620.
If you're like me, you're concerned about the stock market and the economy. You're asking the questions, but it just doesn't seem that you're getting the right answers. Well, my friends at the Wealth Preservation Institute not only have the answers, but they've put together a free report, How to Survive the Upcoming Economic Collapse and Protect Your 401ks, IRA savings, and retirement income. Don't hesitate. This report's for free for a limited time by calling 888-772-2929. That's 888-772-2929. Take back your financial lives today.
This is Dan Pillett. Do you owe the IRS money you can't pay? Are tax debts crippling you? I've defended people from the IRS for over 30 years. I've helped thousands, and I can help you too. I wrote the book on IRS settlement, and I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a hopeless case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX to finally get free of IRS debt. With the IRS's new programs, there's never been a better time to solve your problem. Call 800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NO-TAX, or my website, danpilla.com.
Hey, John, I have, John Regan's with us. I have in my hands something, it's a really interesting little booklet. It's produced by the U.S. Department of Commerce, Economics and Statistics Administration, U.S. Census Bureau. It's titled The American Community Survey. And this particular one is to the resident of, and it has the address, and it asks a whole bunch of questions. It has, page 1, there are 6 questions. I'm sorry, page 2, there's 6 questions. Page 3, there are 6 questions. Page 5, there are 10 questions. How many pages? 28 pages of information that the government would like you to fill out. It kind of looks like a 1040 form. And it wants to know lots of things. Have you gotten one of these surveys? A census document?
I've gotten them in the past.
Okay. Well, I've got a current one. It just arrived, and it wants to know things like, it has, if there are more than 5 people staying here, print their names in the spaces for persons 6 through 12. So they assume that, as many as 12 people are staying in one particular location, and they want a description of the particular building. Is it a mobile home? Is it a one-family detached house? Is it attached to another house? Is it a building with 2 apartments, 3 apartments, 4 apartments, 5, 9, building with 10 to 19 apartments, building with 20 to 49, a building with 50 or more apartments? Is it a boat, an RV, a van? I mean, it's unbelievable the number of questions that these guys have. They want to know if you are you Hispanic, Latino, or Spanish origin? And if you're not Hispanic, Latino, or Spanish origin, are you Mexican, Mexican American, Chicano? Are you Puerto Rican? Are you Cuban? Are you Hispanic, Latino, Spanish origin? Are you Colombian, Dominican, Nicaraguan, Salvadorian, Spaniard? I mean, they want to know a lot about each person, and there are 28 pages of questions that these guys are threatening that you must complete. So that's with the American Community Survey. Then I've got another one, and they were kind enough to send us this one, and this is a much, much smaller survey, and it's titled the National Agricultural Classification Survey. And this one has our name on it, and it has a due date on it. And it wants to know all kinds of things. Did you own, rent, or operate cropland, pasture land, or with the potential for agricultural production? Do you sell any type of livestock? Horses, poultry, fowl, bees, aquaculture? Now, ours is kind of nice. It's only 4 pages. Must be, this looks like a 1040 form. It would, if I wanted to fill this out accurately, it would probably take me half a day. Do you own it? Do you rent it? How many acres? What are you growing? Are you growing any fruit, berries, or nuts? What kind of vegetables? Do you have any grain storage? How many milk cows, hogs, pigs, sheep, lamb, goats, horses, ponies, mules, donkeys, burros? Chickens, how many? Bees? These guys want to know a lot. What would happen if all of us said, we're not doing it? That's what I did in the past, and they threatened me. I said, well, you know where I am. Come get me. Just my way of dealing with the bureaucracy. I remember the Paperwork Reduction Act. Do you remember that, John?
Yeah, I was an Air Force officer, and inevitably there was another piece of paper in a stack that we had to sign talking about the Paperwork Reduction Act.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, there would be a statement on the front of each document saying that it complies with the Paperwork Reduction Act. And there was more paper. It just didn't stop. Well, I remember living in Virginia and Mrs. Finelli putting the census document on my desk, and I said, oh, okay. And I filed it, and then she said, you filed that? And I said, yeah. And so they sent me information telling me I didn't file it with them, and they kept sending me more and more paper telling me that they missed my response. And then finally they started calling me and telling me they missed my response. And I asked the guy at 7 o'clock in the morning, how much am I paying him to harass me? And finally, all I did was I enumerated how many people were living in the house, and that's all I'm required to do. So I did that, just the number. How many people? That's it, the number. And they sent agents out to the farm. These guys, John, one of them, I was baling hay. This guy followed me in his pickup truck across the field trying to get my attention to ask me to fill out the census. And I told him I did. I completed it with just enumeration, how many people lived in the house at that particular time. That's it. And I told him I wasn't going to do any more. Finally, after hours, he finally gave up. The guy drove across a little wet weather creek in his truck to follow me. They just don't stop. Anyway, that's my little rant about the census.
Getting back to radiation.
Yeah.
The LA gas well is back in the news. Of course, we talked about, besides the methane coming out, you've also got radiation. Well, the well has destabilized. A large crater develops in the area. If the wellhead fails, this could become a very catastrophic, as if it's not already bad, event. If you have anybody that lives anywhere near that area, try to convince them they need to get out there before things get worse. And just to finish off the section there, the West Coast has the worst wildlife die-off ever recorded anywhere on Earth, and it's not just marine die-off. So it's the West Coast, and especially the LA area right now, is getting hit pretty bad.
John, can you tell us what you mean by die-off? What's dying off?
All kinds of species are dying off, from the starfish. We've had the make a list.
Okay, let me share with you what I've been saying and I've seen, and I continue to see. I see trees dying. I see trees dying all over our farm, and you would think that it's just our farm. It's not just our farm. I've talked to other instructors all over the country, and they're saying they're seeing the same things. Healthy trees, 40, 50, 60, 70 years old, are dying. And the bark doesn't look good, the leaves don't look good, the branches don't look good. Entire limbs are dead, and then one limb will die, and then another limb, and then pretty soon the whole tree is dead, and they fall down in the woods. You've been to our farm, and we're surrounded by woods here at the farmhouse, but these trees are falling over dead. They're just dying in place and falling over. And we used to have, and I've said this, and I'm trying to make sure that we understand this point. The trees that, when we bought this farm, we thought, as the trees die, we can just pull them out of the woods, cut them up, and use them for heat. And we're thinking, is there enough? Is 120 acres of woods enough to just have the naturally dying trees be used as fuel for the outdoor wood furnace? The answer is we have more wood than we can possibly use, because the trees are dying at a faster rate than they used to die 10 years ago. That's my take on it. And when you talk about other species dying, are we attributing this to radiation? Are we attributing to pollution? Is it electromagnetics? Is it these submarines doing detonations in the ocean? Is it the nuclear leaking vessels that are at the bottom of the sea? Is it the trash, the islands of trash and plastic, and the animals in the sea are eating plastic balls and they're choking? I mean, do you have a feel for what it could be? Or is it everything?
Well, I think it's a little bit of everything, but we are now nearly 5 years into Fukushima and the aftermath, and there's a lot of the food chain has just collapsed, and a lot of these beachings that I've read about lately, they've talked about the animals are just starving. So as that lower part of the food chain collapses, it starts affecting the upper part of the food chain until, eventually it gets to, the top of the food chain, which includes us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we reported that the number of farms is decreasing in the United States, and the size of the farm is increasing. So farmers are acquiring more land, and the number of farms is in decline. And the average age of a farmer right now in the United States, as of several years ago, is 59, 60 years old. So I'm a little older than the average farmer. I'm 63. And Mrs. Finelli is right up there with me. And so the question is, what's going to happen? What is going to happen to those who are depending on the farmers for food as we all get older? And a lot of young people just flat out don't want to be farmers. It's too hard. It's a lot easier to bang on the keyboard than it is to farm. I'm concerned about it, John. Are you?
One of the articles I didn't get to a few weeks ago was Robo Vincent, where they're automating farms.
Yeah, well, I'd like to do that. I'd like to sit at a keyboard and kind of watch everything happen. I think that'd be kind of amusing, but I don't know how to do that. I mean, I actually have to go out there and, imagine having a dog or a cat or, an animal that you don't talk to. How's that going to work? How's that going to work? I talk to our animals every day, including the cows and chickens. We'll be right back. By now you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
If you have sore joints, discover a breakthrough in joint health. Cosamin ASU. A unique patented formula, Cosamin ASU goes to work fast on a cellular level inside your joints. Its active ingredients are shown to inhibit specific enzymes that break down cartilage as you age, helping protect the joint cushioning cartilage important for comfortable activity. Try Cosamin ASU at Costco.com and other fine retailers.
Geico applauds your inner happy camper.
A merit badge of awesomeness goes out to the part of you that wants to put the recreation in recreational vehicle. The part of you that packs up everything and everybody in the RV and says, let's get this show on the road. Because Geico has specialized agents who help save money on more than just car insurance. Geico will insure that entire RV, so you can get the s'more making, poison ivy dodging, same song singing, ghost storytelling, campfire building, best time you ever had with your family show on the road.
Geico for your RV. See how much you could save.
Owe $10,000 or more to the IRS?
Get on board with the Tax Admiral. Don't pick on the IRS alone. I'll cut penalties and reduce your overall tax bill. Sometimes I can even get it zeroed out completely.
We're an A-rated company helping people clean up their mess with the IRS.
If you owe $10,000 or more, then call the Tax Admiral.
Call 800-287-7180. Again, that's 800-287-7180. 800-287-7180.
Winter has just begun, and are you already tired of being cold? How would you like to never be cold again? This is Dale with Fortress Clothing, and I'm here to tell you, you will never be cold again with Fortress. If you're tired of freezing your butt off, elk hunting, sitting in a tree stand deer hunting, winter camping, fishing, ice fishing, no longer fear the cold. If you snowmobile, ski, snowboard, get Fortress. Sledding with the kids, shoveling the walks, shopping, or if you or your spouse get cold feet at home, get Fortress. If you're stuck outside working in the cold or find yourself in an emergency situation, get our winter bug-out bag, and you will never be cold again. Fortress is the answer, so quit complaining and go to fortressclothing.com. It's a mid-layer garment that goes with anything you want to wear. Enter coupon code RADIO and get 20% off any item. Go now while we still have inventory. FortressClothing.com.
No other network provides the level of customer service we do. When it comes to radio advertising, we are your one-stop shop. And no matter how big or small your business is, we can help. Email us at advertise@gcnlive.com, and an experienced advertising executive will help you take the first step towards driving more customers to your business or website. Advertise@gcnlive.com. Easy, affordable, effective.
Meet up tonight at Jimmy's Egg, 4:45 to 8 p.m. tonight in Springfield on Battlefield Road, Springfield, Missouri, 4:45 to 8 p.m. The topic tonight is a man who knew too much. A man who knew too much. And who's hosting? That would be Silent Night. So if you'd like to attend, I think it will be well worth your while. You don't have to buy anything. Just show up. If you'd like to have dinner with the meetup group, that would be wonderful. So that's tonight. And information's on the website. Captain John Regan, back to you.
Well, let's turn to the financial section. And first off, it's an article that started making the rounds last week. 62 people have more wealth than half the world. And that's $1.76 trillion. So when you divide 62 into that, it's an average of a little over 28 billion a person. And I'm not wanting anybody to feel sorry for these people. They are using their resources to buy influence to control the rest of us. But at the same time, the thought that all we got to do is take everything they have and they'll solve our problems is not a viable option. First off, 1.7 trillion doesn't come close to fixing anything. You'd need more than 10 times that amount just to pay off the federal debt. And I've got an article on what world debt is right now, according to ING. It's just unbelievable. Part of the problem is that 1.7 trillion is not in cash. It's mostly in stocks, bonds, and real estate. So you have to find a buyer for that. And who's going to buy it if they've got most of the resources? That's the first problem. The other problem is when you take 1.7 trillion and divide it by the 7.3 billion people on Earth, that's only $241 per person. So even if you could convert it to cash and it didn't cost you anything to get the money to everybody, that's it, $241. And how long would it take to go through that? In poor countries, that might end up being, closer to annual income. But here in the United States, it doesn't even come close to paying for a month of Obamacare. So I just wanted to put a little perspective on that article. Yes, it's a problem, but don't fall into the trap of all we got to do is tax these people more and we solve problems. Let me run through.
As you're saying that, John, I was thinking about, the personal computer. When it first started out, it was a standalone device. It just, you could use it as a pretty neat tool, word processing and then spreadsheets and some simple games. And then it became networked. And then the networks were networked. And then the internet became available to us. And what happened is that tool that was a really nice tool that could help in the office with spell checking and spreadsheets and so forth and databases, then became a tool that was used to spy on us. So by the same people who have gotten the top 1% of the wealth, right? A lot of those people are involved in the spying, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I don't have a high regard for these people. I think you have to be really sick to want to spy on people, peeping Toms. You really have to be defective, in my opinion. Okay.
Put a link in Canadian household debt. And the reason I put it in there was not about the Canadian debt, but there's a chart in there, household debt service ratios. And I'm trying to find similar information for the United States. And what this chart shows is that the interest-only debt service is around 6 or 7%, and the total debt service ratio, which includes paying on the principal, is somewhere around 13-14%. Somewhere in there is roughly a 6% difference. And I bring that up because when I did my calculation, I only allowed 3%. And this chart suggests maybe I need to double that to redo my calculation with.
Okay, when we come back, what are the highlights?
Well, I want to finish off what's going on financially so we can get to the bigger picture.
Okay, there you go. John Regan's with us. We'll be right back.
Removing bad taste and odor from your drinking water is easy. Removing the bad stuff you don't taste is what ProPure does best. Water the way nature meant it to be. Clean, crisp, and refreshing. See the complete line of ProPure countertop, inline, gravity, and household water filtration products. Visit your authorized ProPure dealer or ProPureUSA.com. That's ProPureUSA.com or call 800-544-3533.
So you've got to take a state construction license exam or certification. Can't decide on what books or what chapters to study? Discover right now how you can eliminate unnecessary books and wasted study time. At contractorexam.com, our study materials zero in on state-required test topics in an effective, multiple-choice format. So whether you're a plumber, electrician, general contractor, or other construction-related trade, contractorexam.com will help get you prepared. Visit us at www.contractorexam.com today.
Winter has just begun, and are you already tired of being cold? How would you like to never be cold again? This is Dale with Fortress Clothing, and I'm here to tell you, you will never be cold again with Fortress. If you're tired of freezing your butt off, elk hunting, sitting in a tree stand deer hunting, winter camping, fishing, ice fishing, no longer fear the cold. If you snowmobile, ski, snowboard, get Fortress. Sledding with the kids, shoveling the walks, shopping, or if you or your spouse get cold feet at home, get Fortress. If you're stuck outside working in the cold or find yourself in an emergency situation, get our winter bug-out bag, and you will never be cold again. Fortress is the answer, so quit complaining and go to fortressclothing.com. It's a mid-layer garment that goes with anything you want to wear. Enter coupon code RADIO and get 20% off any item. Go now while we still have inventory. FortressClothing.com.
If survivalist housing has been in your plans, get ready. We're bringing our Timberline range camps to you February 6th through 14th, the Great American Outdoor Show in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Get an up-close look at some of our most popular Timberline models, or visit survivalistcamps.com to pre-order a camp. We'll bring it to the show and save you the cost of shipping. It's the perfect time to get that camp you've wanted. Go to survivalistcamps.com, then plan on joining us at the Great American Outdoor Show in February in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Do you have difficulty taking supplements? Are you searching for a high-quality, complete nutritional drink that your whole family will love? NutriMedical's Life Support has arrived. All of your daily nutritional requirements in one quick, delicious drink. Dr. Bill Deagle's Life Support is a proprietary blend of vegan protein, activated vitamins, essential minerals, amino acids, probiotics, green tea, digestive enzymes, anti-inflammatories, cancer prevention, detoxification, and much more. Your body will high-five you for this one. Life Support is the best complete nutritious meal replacement on the market. Whether you are an elite athlete, have post-operative challenges, chronic illness, elderly, or a family that just wants a quick, delicious drink, try Dr. Bill Deagle's Life Support for optimized nutrition in one great tasting smoothie. Just add cold water, almond milk, fruit, or anything else you like. NutriMedical's Life Support. Try our great tasting chocolate or vanilla today. Call 888-212-8871 or visit us online at NutriMedical.com. NutriMedical.com for the whole family.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pulaski of the Pulaski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states.
Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937.
My name is Don Wiskin, and at 42 years old, I suffered a massive heart attack and was told I'd be on disability for the rest of my life. What did I do? I created Extendivite, a garlic and cayenne mix of 7 herbs which rebuilt my heart and gave me back my life. For over 17 years now, I have made this formula available to you, so you don't have to suffer the same thing I did. Clean your blocked arteries and strengthen your heart and boost your natural immune system. I'm 60 years old now, and I still work every day. To get your Extendivite, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822, or visit heartdrop.com. Extendivite is only $69.95 for a 2-month supply of either capsules or liquid.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
Class Captain John Regan is with us. John, last week we did a broadcast with Cliff High, Half Past Human, and he was talking about hyperinflation. So I was just doing a little search, and I'm looking at Canada, okay? And in Canada, I'm looking at a 100 fluid ounce jug of Tide laundry detergent, $31.99. I'm looking at a head of cauliflower, $7.99. This is Canadian. A jar of black pepper, $18.99. You think? I mean, these are signs of hyperinflation, right?
Yeah,
Do you think
some of that's not
eggs?
much better here in Dallas? I mean, a head of cauliflower is $4 here.
Okay. I'm looking at eggs. Now, okay, so a cucumber is, Canadians are looking at cucumbers at around $3 a piece. A single bell pepper is $16. These are really, really high numbers, John. What are your thoughts on this? Do you think this is the beginning, and do you think this is an anomaly? Do you have any feel for this?
Well, it was a few years ago, Lindsey Williams said there'd be plenty of food in the grocery stores, you just wouldn't be able to afford to buy it. I think it's a sign of things to come, and there's actually a couple of articles down in my bigger picture section where China's buying farmland in Australia, Saudi's buying farmland in southwestern United States, and these countries are trying to do things to get food for their people to keep the internal problems down. And as the situation gets worse, especially with the California drought, we see no sign of it improving. I think it's going to get rather testy when these countries want to take food out of our country, and we're going to want food for our own people. That's, again, part of the way wars start.
I'm looking at this head of cauliflower. There's nothing special about this head of cauliflower. It's $7.99 Canadian. And I'm looking at this small jug of 100 ounces. 100 ounces, that's not a really big jug to me. When I try to buy detergent, I buy it by these 4.5 gallon buckets. And, I'm aghast at the cost of laundry detergent. I'm looking at eggs. I believe I've got this right. I'm looking at a dozen eggs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, dozen eggs. $8.19. Bacon. A pound of bacon. $11.99. These are pretty high numbers from my neck of the woods. Really high numbers. And it says that America's northern neighbor imports about 80% of the fresh fruits and vegetables that they consume. And these are sharp price increases. I'm quite concerned about it, John. And that is one of the reasons why I have purchased some used equipment, to butcher cows right here on the farm. So I talked to Mrs. Finelli. We had a family meeting, and we said, okay, everything's going up. The food is becoming injected with all kinds of chemicals. If we want to survive this, do you want to invest in processing equipment for our own beef? And the answer was overwhelmingly, unanimously, yes, that's what we're going to do. So part of our life savings went into some used equipment. And we got it very, very, very low prices. I bought a bandsaw, John, to cut beef. This is a bandsaw that came from a Tyson plant. This thing is 6 feet tall. It weighs hundreds of pounds. I believe I bought it almost for the price of scrap. Literally, $400. And I have a feeling that this is going to be used in our little village. I don't think we're going to be the only ones using this piece of gear. It's commercial. It's not a hobby farm piece of gear. This is a commercial piece of gear. John, I bought a dishwasher, a used dishwasher on Craigslist. And let me tell you why. The dishwasher was $50. That's what the person was asking for it, and I was glad to pay $50 for a used dishwasher. Now, why would I do that? Because you can't get a part for a dishwasher for $50. You can't get someone to look at it, just come out and say, you're right, it doesn't work, for less than $100. So the absolute minimum cost to get someone to come out and look at your dishwasher and repair anything, the slightest thing that's wrong with it's $150. So for 1/3 of that, I bought a whole dishwasher with all the parts. It's used. But the inflationary prices of having things repaired and the cost of spare parts, I think our class should look at buying a complete unit, whatever they have. Like if they find a washing machine just like theirs, with the same timer, the same everything, same transmission, same motor. If you can get one for $50, you might want to get one of those and put it in your garage so that when yours fails, you've got the parts, because you're not going to get the parts for $50. Of course, you'll have to learn how to fix it. What do you think, John?
And it's going to get worse as companies go bankrupt and parts aren't available at all.
Yeah. And one last thing I want to say about dishwashers. I couldn't believe it. I went to pick it up with my son. He picked this thing up, put it in the back of the truck, like it was nothing. I thought, wow, did he get strong? Well, I took it off the truck with my wife. I'm thinking, I wanted to take it off so we wouldn't bend any of the... They took the metal out, and there's hardly any metal in the dishwasher. It's just one plastic tub with a skin of metal on the front and a couple strips of metal and maybe some metal on the motor, but that's it. The rest of it's all plastic. The frame is plastic. It's a plastic tub. Well, Mrs. Finelli and I picked it up like it was nothing. Literally, I dragged it across the back of the pickup truck on its back with 2 fingers. 2 fingers. It's that light. I think it weighs maybe 20, 25 pounds, the entire dishwasher. I don't think that's a really good quality product. It's a Whirlpool, but they've taken the metal out. It used to take a couple guys to lift one of those things. Now, one person can lift it easily. Just my comments on the engineering. So I want to congratulate Whirlpool for taking almost all the metal out of their dishwashers. Good job, Whirlpool. Unbelievable. Plastic frame, plastic wheels, plastic everything. It is as light as can be. It is a disposable item for most people. Dishwasher fails, no worries. Throw it out. Throw it in the ocean. Unbelievable. To me, it's a sin. We used to make products that would last a long time. I remember we had a refrigerator, John, from the 50s, and it lasted, well, I still have the compressor. It still works. I use a compressor to evacuate air conditioners. Couldn't get parts, the gaskets for it anymore, but it worked it worked half a century. Can you imagine? And now you get 15 years out of a refrigerator, you think you're doing great. Back to you.
Now, let me pick up a few at the end of the financial section there. Bankrupt shale producers can't give their assets away. And that's a problem because the banks have roughly $500 billion of energy loans on the books. And it's this may be what actually brings everything down. And tanker or Ferrari, it's now cheaper to rent a dry bulk tanker than a Ferrari. And today we may have seen the bottoming out of the Baltic Dry Index. It stayed the same from Friday at 354. That's still horrifically low. And the last article in the financial section, when I do my calculations, basically it's about $100 trillion in world debt, and $60 trillion of that being the United States. That's what I can easily confirm. But there's a couple of companies that have that are stating more than that. We've talked about McKinsey, which stated it as being over $200 trillion. Now ING, which is a pretty well-known firm, says that world debt is $223 trillion. I'm going to see if I can track down. I've not had much luck in getting details on these numbers, but if they're right, then everything that I do in my calculations, basically just double it, and that's not to the good side. That's to the bad side. And if you don't have any comment on that, we'll proceed down to bigger picture.
So, well, all right. So everything, if that's true, your numbers are off by half, right? So double them. And that means that whatever these predictions that we see coming our way are going to come faster and they're going to be worse. Is that right? Am I reading that correctly?
Yeah, however bad I said it's worse.
Well, I mentioned to Cliff High that I'm one step below being in panic mode. And I don't mean I'm running around as a chicken with his head cut off, not knowing which direction. I'm being very deliberate. That's why I say one step below panic mode. I'm at a heightened sense of concern, and I want to get everything done as quickly as possible. My son picked up a couple batteries for one of our trucks, a Dodge Ram. Batteries were over $100 a piece, about $120 a piece. Those batteries years ago were $39 a piece. $39. So they're 3 times the price now. That's just one thing. My son bought a couple cables. He was his heater failed, and he was in 14 degree, 15, 16 degree weather. His heater failed on his truck. He needed to get some cables. Got 2 10-foot 4-gauge copper cables. $80. He was in an emergency situation. $80 for 2 10-foot 4-gauge copper wire cables. Absolutely out of control. I'm looking forward to calling the store that held a gun to his head and see how they feel about it. We'll be right back. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
Are you still looking for that one iodine that you can really trust? A medical doctor-endorsed product that is backed by honest research and true integrative science? Then search no further. Go to NutriMedical.com for Dr. Bill Deagle's Nutriodine, proven time and time again to be the very best iodine available for you. Nutriodine is the only Tesla-activated monatomic plasma iodine in the world. It optimizes mitochondrial function and generation of new mitochondria, from totally neutralizing the venom from a desert recluse spider bite in Southern California to eliminating malaria parasites reported by medical missionaries in central India. Dr. Bill's Nutriodine is simply the most powerful healing formula there is. Nutriodine clears the body of all known pathogens, restores it to an alkaline state, and even promotes stem cell regeneration. Order Dr. Bill's Nutriodine today at 888-212-8871 or visit us online at NutriMedical.com.
Hi, this is Walt Augustinowicz. I'm the founder and CEO of ID Stronghold. By now you've heard our commercials about wallets that protect you from electronic pickpocketing. 10 years ago, I created a way to protect my own cards from prying eyes after government officials started talking about issuing a national ID card with a built-in radio chip called RFID. I felt having to broadcast my personal information was an invasion of privacy. Soon after, it was also announced that credit cards, debit cards, U.S. passports, hotel room keys, and even transit passes would all soon incorporate RFID. It was then I formed ID Stronghold to share my inventions in blocking RFID signals with the world. There are a lot of misconceptions out there today about RFID. I encourage everyone to get informed and get protected. Please go to idstronghold.com and get the facts and the wallets, sleeves, or badge holders you need to protect your personal financial data. You'll be pleasantly surprised that through our direct sales model, you won't pay more than other comparable unprotected wallets. It is as though the protection is free. Visit idstronghold.com today.
Attention USA Prepares listeners. When you're on the road or have limited data or Wi-Fi, now you can listen to USA Prepares unfiltered and untapped at no extra charge on this non-federal phone number, 1-605-477-3249. Try it now to listen to USA Prepares 24/7 at no extra cost or data charges. These are not on federal lines. These are lines located on Indian reservations off the grid. Call 1-605-477-3249. No smartphones or internet needed. To hear USA Prepares untapped and off the grid, just call 1-605-477-3249.
My name is Don Wiskin. In 1994, I lost my 62-year-old father to complications of bypass surgery. In 1977, my 44-year-old brother was found dead in his apartment. He suffered a heart attack. In January of 98, my mother had a stroke and passed away in her bed. 21 days later, my 53-year-old brother passed away on his arrival to the hospital. He waited too long. In June that same year, I almost joined them at 42. What did I do? I took a 7-herb formula I now call Extendivite, made from garlic, cayenne, bilberry, ginkgo biloba, hawthorn, milk thistle, and valerian. Based on German studies of natural medicine, Extendivite is designed to clear blocked arteries, clean the toxins from your blood, and improve your immune system. To get your Extendivite, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822, or visit our website, heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
Are you looking to sell body armor? Want to make extra money selling body armor at your local gun shows? With low minimum buys and great returns, Katie Armor is the answer. Make money in your spare time. It's American-made body armor with the quickest turnaround in the industry, which means you get your product when you need it at very competitive rates. And they'll ship it to you for free. If you own a business, give them a call today at 855-488-KATIE. That's 855-488-2284. Or go to katiearmor.com. Come and take it.
Class, I just dialed this telephone number and it really, really works well. So if you want to listen to usaprepares.com on the go or at home, 605-477-3249. 605-477-3249. It works really well. You just dial it and boom, you're listening to your favorite instructors at usaprepares.com. John Regan, back to you.
Well, I've got a link in bigger picture called 37-4. And if you're one of those that remembers when Johnny Carson was on the Tonight Show,
I do.
That was a time when we did have some competition in the country. There were, the media was owned by dozens of companies. There were a few dozen big banks out there, and that's changed. We've reported on how we're now down to 6 companies controlling most of the media. Well, these are how 37 of the banks became 4 in just 2 decades. And it gives a chart that you can click on and where you can actually read it, and you can see how all the mergers happened to give us what we have today. And before we run out of time, we've talked about Planet X quite a bit on USA Prepares, and now it's hit the mainstream media, and they're actually calling it Planet 9 because they've demoted Pluto. But they're now saying, hey, there's another big planet out there that could be as large as 10 times the size of Earth, and that's the number 1 link I have in bigger picture. And the number 2 link is a YouTube video where Zacharias Sitchin was interviewing Dr. Robert Harrington back in 1990, more than 25 years ago. And Dr. Harrington was talking about that very same planet. So the government knew about it well before then. Dr. Harrington was the chief astronomer at the U.S. Naval Observatory. So, if you're the chief astronomer, you don't have very much career progression after that. And it was just like a couple of years after the interview when he ended up dying from a fast-acting cancer after revealing that Planet X was real. So we don't know if that was, coincidence or part of the conspiracy out there. But I give that to you just so you've got the latest on the Planet X saga.
And there's so many threats. There's so many threats surrounding us, and this article that you've posted, 37-4, and how 37 banks became 4, and the 4 that are the result of all of these mergers, acquisitions, are Citigroup, J.P. Morgan Chase, Bank of America, and Wells Fargo, right? Those are the 4
also known as too big to fail.
Yeah, and so just for one of them, J.P. Morgan Chase, that is what you used to know as Washington Mutual, Great Western Financial, HF, I don't know how you would say this, Amundsen, Dime Bank Corp, First Chicago, Bank One, First Commerce, J.P. Morgan, Chase Manhattan, Chemical Banking, and Bear Stearns. It's now J.P. Morgan Chase. It's a great post, John. So if you want to see what happened, pretty soon there'll just be one, right? One bank. And
it'll be one World Bank.
Yeah. And if they decide they want to shut you down, just someone at a keyboard can just press a few keys, or a robot, or artificial intelligence can just shut your account down. And if you think you're going anywhere and buying fuel, you can probably forget about it. It's pretty scary stuff, John. John Regan, thank you so much for being with us today and illuminating the way to surviving and what's really going wrong. Class, please pay attention, talk with your family, and prepare to survive. Above all, honesty and integrity. What happens next?
By now, you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems.
Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
For over 5 years, you've been hearing about the Berkey guy, so you may know a few things about him. For example, you are well aware of the superior quality and effectiveness of Berkey water filters and accessories. But did you know the Berkeys have had independent lab tests done to prove just how effective they are? It's true, and he can email you the test results. Just visit goberkey.com. You may also know that the Berkey guy has helped tens of thousands of people get better prepared. Now here's something you may not know. GoBerkey.com has amazing specials and deals all the time on a wide variety of survival and preparedness products. Most ready to ship same day. Visit The Berkey Guy at GoBerkey.com and be sure to click the red Products on Sale Now button. You can always call toll-free 877-886-3653. Again, that's 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com, home of The Berkey Guy.